Hi everyone. Today we have with us Sushma Veerappa, a documentary filmmaker and a part of Vikalp Bengaluru. Hi Sushma, welcome. Like we were talking before, the interview. Could you talk a little bit about, how Vikalp Bengaluru started? We know that there are probably multiple chapters of Vikalp and started, like you were saying, in 2004. Could you talk a bit about how Vikalp Bengaluru happened?
Bangalore. Essentially, yes. So what began in Bombay in 2004 against the anti-censorship campaign that kind of came in through there. So the package of films that were screened there traveled to Bangalore, and so we had those screenings. I mean, there were there was a lot of drama that kind of went around before we could go ahead and screen this. But yes, so the package screened, and there was a huge turnout. After which there was a small group of filmmakers, the local filmmakers, decided to kind of more than carry on the campaign, because in Bangalore there isn't really a documentary viewing culture. I mean, let alone documentary making. Though we have two very senior filmmakers of the country based in Bangalore, Deepa and Chala. But still, there was no culture, really, viewing culture, so to say. So we decided to kind of continue screening documentaries in the city, because there was no one else who was screening documentaries. We weren't quite sure about how we would go about it, but as we were trying to kind of figure this out, in 2005, there was this lovely space called, physical space called Center for Film and Drama. So in this space, there was one group from Bangalore called Collective Chaos. Sadly, they've closed down now. So one weekend, they were screening World Cinema. And then in the second weekend, there was Bangalore Film Society. They were screening Indian classics. And then we started showing documentaries. And then the fourth weekend was again maybe shorts or something like that. So you could go into this physical space on any weekend and there would be some cinema happening. So it was a very exciting time. The network of documentary filmmakers across the country is pretty small, and so it was easy to kind of call people and say, if we made a film, share it. And then also there were parallel screenings going on in the Vikalp chapter in Bombay, in the Vikalp chapter in Delhi. So there was an email group that had been formed during the 2004 campaign. So one was kind of seeing the kind of films that they were screening. So we asked them to kind of share those films with us. So that's how it began in 2005. And this activity went on till about 2008, I think. I mean, it was fantastic. It was very exciting. But one fine day, CFD had to close shop. Then Collective Chaos closed. So we also kind of lost steam, because essentially we were just three of us who were running this activity. So maybe that screening activity in CFD closed, but at the same time there were other screenings happening. We were being invited to curate some small festival package, some small package of documentaries in some other part of the city.
Right.
So we kind of came back in, I think, 2010 maybe. Then we had another venue called Smriti Nandan. Again, it was this old woman who was a philanthropist, who was an art lover. So she was giving her small private auditorium in her home, so to say, to screen documentaries. So somehow we used to kind of, spaces like this just kind of happened. We screened, and then at some point, if we didn't take ourselves too seriously, so to say. So if we lost steam, we kind of, said, okay, this is it. I can't be doing this anymore, because it was just three of us running it. But in 2014, I mean, we were thinking that it was about 2 years since we had stopped screening, and then all of us, it was kind of lending itself to some kind of a community also, I mean, we were meeting filmmakers, other filmmakers were like coming in to chat, to watch. So we were missing that sense of community here. So in 2014, it just happened that one of the group members, Gautam Sonti, so in his neighborhood, there is this single screen theatre called Everest, one of the last surviving single screen theatre. So he happened to kind of stop by there and chat with the young owner of that place, Yogi Kshatriya, and tell him about, about us and about the fact that we want to screen documentaries. And I don't know if it's his fine arts degree from Goldsmiths, or I don't know what it is, but this young man, I mean, this was 2 years ago, so he must have been 25, 26. He said, fine, I'll give you the space. So on the last Thursday of every month, so the 7 o'clock show on the last Thursday, he cancelled, because Friday happens to be a new release, right? So then this is a space that he can let go of. So that's how it began. In January 2014, we began with Nishta Jain's gangs of
Gulabi.
Gulabi gang, sorry. And it's been fantastic. That screening got in, it's a 500-seater space, so that screening got about 400 or almost 500 people. After which we get at least 200, 250 people coming in regularly. I mean, there's a lot of locals who just kind of stray. They expect to see Salman Khan because there is a big hoarding of, the next Salman Khan release, and then they see this documentary, but they do stay on.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's been good fun.
So, so apart from screenings, is there anything else that you're doing to kind of push the documentary film format?
No, sadly no, because I think being filmmakers ourselves, the energy, we are now a group of 5. So we realized that, just kind of watching films and deciding on what we want to show at that one screening in Everest. And then there are, most number of documentary films don't have a censor certificate, so it means that, you have to kind of get an exemption to be able to screen in Everest. So, and then getting the press to kind of cover it and trying to get people to watch, this does take up time because all of us do have a regular work going on. So this is just about all that we can do.
Right.
So no, nothing beyond this.
The mainstream kind of hogs everything in the country, right? The mainstream Hindi cinema, or whether it's even the regional mainstream cinema, I'm sure kind of hogs all the space, distribution space as well as media space. For not leaving anything aside for any other kind of content. Documentaries have kind of long been not something that have been showcased or seen by the public at large. But last couple of years we've seen few documentaries get some theatrical release. So you had Kathiawaz, you had The World Before Her. What I mean, I am assuming obviously distribution is one of the bigger problems here. What are other problems, and that documentary
actually,
filmmakers?
I think the documentary format itself lends itself to not theatrical screenings but more intimate audiences. So I think as documentary filmmakers, I don't think the idea of screening in a big screen or a multiplex is that exciting. Is the be all and end all. I think for us, even screening to 15 people, a very involved audience, a very engaged audience, that itself is exciting enough, and that's how we have thrived all these years. So this, I think, is more the foo-fa, I mean, then it means that you're part of the mainstream, but I still feel that, I mean, if you want to be showing your film in a place like PVR, then you do work around a different format. You do work around a different format. So I don't know if all documentary filmmakers want to kind of make films that are in that format, that kind of fall into that format. I think there are like way many voices and all kinds of different voices, and I mean, I personally, for me, I don't know if a PVR screening is as important as screening in with smaller audiences.
Right, but that obviously is a huge challenge, right? I mean, finding those smaller spaces and then putting your content out and getting a word out and getting people
I
in.
agree, but at the same time, I don't know if screening your film at a place like PVR is getting you I mean, that's supposed to be revenue,
Right.
Built around revenue, right? I don't know if that is actually translating into revenue for the filmmaker. So I don't think the Indian documentary filmmaker has come into a space, into a time where documentary filmmaking is actually kind of working around a revenue model. I think it is still existing in a space where we are working with audiences. And as long as that is the scenario, I don't know when that will change. As long as that is the scenario, I think, okay, PVR happens, like we are curating the documentary section, and we were invited actually. But we are seeing that, I mean, at Everest, we are drawing a bigger audience. Here people are divided. I mean, they're standing in a queue to enter, and then they see that there is a longer queue in the next screen.
Right.
So, and then a friend calls them there, so they are jumping the line and going across.
Right.
So it's sad because we curate, I mean, according to us, it is a very exciting package.
Right.
I mean, we have worked hard to kind of get these films together. We were very excited about the idea about, putting in this package and being invited to BIFFES.
Right.
But in terms of audience, I would think that we'd be happier doing it on our own.
Right. So could you talk a bit about the kind of films you're curating here, and what was the rationale behind that curation?
So we didn't
I looked at the schedule, and it seems to be that you've kind of selected a bit of like a different assortment of
yes,
kind of
yes, because
documentaries.
one is I repeat that in the Bangalore audience is still not familiar with the documentary format, right? And okay, Everest has its kind of people. It's a very local kind of an audience that comes, and or it's either the very local audience or it is the converted. I mean, people on our email group and
Right.
yeah. So here we knew that it was going to be a very different audience altogether. So we were keen on showing the currents. What is exactly happening, what is kind of
Right.
generally happening, because there's all kinds of new work happening. There's Placebo,
Right.
then there is Cities of Sleep, then there is a very very lovely film called This Road I Know, made by Yirmiyan, about about Manipur.
Right.
It's a very personal
I saw this
narrative, yeah.
one, Not Cast in Stone,
Oh yes,
which I
that's
really
a
loved.
student. Yes, that was something again we were very keen about, because we realized that students are making some very exciting works, and we wanted to kind of show what the future can be.
Right.
What the future in filmmaking, in documentary filmmaking can be. So we were keen on including about a few films. So we have a 2-hour package, about 8 films, of 8 student films, and we have 5 international documentaries.
Right.
There again, I mean, we had Wim Wenders. We wanted to show Salt of the Earth in Everest. So we were
Right.
speaking to Max Muller, Goethe Institute, about showing it there. And just as we got permission to screen, this happened, and so we said, okay, let's show it here. It might
It was
be a
lovely
bigger
to watch it
audience.
on the big screen.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So yeah, so that's what. So we were told to curate about. Initially, we were given 30 hours, then they brought it down to 25 hours. But finally, I think we have almost 30 hours of films that we have put together.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, last couple of years, since the time that I have been actively tracking the space, there seems to be a lot of buzz around documentary as a format, especially a lot of Indian filmmakers kind of going out and experimenting. Something that is also happening in the feature film space and short film space because of the advent of the so-called digital revolution, cameras and a way to distribute it online, like just maybe not making money, just putting the stuff out there on online on YouTube or Vimeo for people to watch. So, is there a sense that people are just picking up their cameras and going out there and making some interesting stuff? Is that happening in your view when you look around?
Yes, there's a lot more youngsters. I mean, because the access to equipment is kind of easy now, right?
Right.
So yes, there is a lot of experimenting happening, so which is good fun. But well, I don't know about. I mean, I'm still not too familiar about how much of it is, actually. Maybe in a very casual way, yes, but I don't know. I don't know about the more serious kind of work that's going on in terms of distribution of these.
Right.
I'm not aware about the short films are something that I haven't engaged with as
Right.
much as
But I was talking about documentaries.
Documentaries, uploading the films on.
No, not just uploading, but I'm talking about whether this whole digitalization, the digital revolution, has had any impact on, documentary filmmaking in terms of the output that you've seen. Are you seeing a lot more documentaries being made, lot more being made by younger people?
Of course, I guess, obviously, right? But again, I don't know. I mean, I'm still wondering how it is that people are getting to see them.
Yeah.
That still remains.
That still remains
yes,
a challenge, right?
Yes, that
Right.
still remains a challenge.
Right.
I mean, it's easier to make films, but then finally, if you want to put your content out there, then how do you go about it?
But you would be watching a lot of documentaries, I'm assuming, from across the country. What are some of the documentaries that you've kind of felt stood out or very interesting in the last maybe 2 years?
Oh, see, I'm still very conservative and old-fashioned, I think. For me, finally, it has to be. I mean, like yesterday, we were watching as part of again the documentary section. We were asked to curate a section on climate change and drought.
Right.
So as part of that section, we included a film that was made about 30 years ago by a media collective.
Right.
It's called Famine 87. So, it was made on high band. It was shot on high band. So we had to go through a process where Sanjeev Shah, who made the film, he gave us a 12 MB file on a pen drive, and we kind of converted it onto Blu-ray, and that was what was projected here. In terms of the visual, and in terms of that immediacy, and in terms of the filmmaker connecting with the person that he or she is filming, I think that still holds. I mean, of late what I am seeing is, there's a lot of younger filmmakers. I don't know if it is to do with the subject really, but I am seeing that you want to watch a subject from a distance, with some restraint. It's all about, very perfect images, very perfect frames, perfect looking frames. I wouldn't say perfect frames, because for me, what I was seeing in Famine 87, they were all perfect frames. But perfect as in the colors, the light, the shade. Yeah, at that moment you enjoy watching that image. But it is just that image. It is not a film. It's not kind of going beyond the image.
Right.
So I feel, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm sure there are other younger.
So you're saying that people are maybe focusing more on the imagery than on.
I think so. I think I'm seeing that. I'm seeing quite a bit of that, sadly. But at the same time, there are thank God for people like maybe. It's somebody like Amar Kamar. He also, they are like perfect looking images, but then he is able to kind of, I think it's the rigor of the years that he has put in, I don't know what, but he is able to kind of go beyond that image. That image stays with you. The image kind of, continues into that entire film, which is not always the case. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm being clear enough, but this is what I see in many of the films that are being made of late.
Right.
This abstraction that comes into image making, it's not getting you, the history of documentary filmmaking in India, where it has come until now, has been because of the engagement. I mean, for me, documentary filmmakers engage with people's movements. They engage with people who are working on the ground. And the documentary films kind of was an extension of the work that was being done by people at the grassroots. Now I see filmmakers are engaging directly, one-on-one with the people that they are filming, which I feel is so momentary, and there is no, which I see a lack of any kind of, I mean, there is no sense, one doesn't get a sense of the social, the social scenario in terms of the class, caste, all these issues seem, they are very confused. They are not addressed. They are,
So if I might put it one way, you're saying there seems to be a certain kind of lack of social commitment, and a lack of ideological bent also, maybe.
Right. I don't think the filmmaker is even questioning all that. It's only about that one moment, that direct interaction between the film. Everything becomes I mean, kind of self-conscious. There is no kind of an awareness.
Quite observation, yeah. So anyways, on that note, would love to thank you for your time. I think you have to rush your screening, right?
Has begun.
Thanks so much for your time. Lovely chatting with you.
Thank you.